Hello and welcome to the Trail and Adventure Motorbike Podcast with me, Clive Barber, and my good mate, Noel Tom. For the days when you can't ride your bike, there's always the Trail and Adventure Motorbike Podcast. Hello and welcome to another exciting instalment. Today we're going to be talking to Magnus Goransson from Sweden. Have a look at Spitfire Magnus on Instagram. There's some great pictures. So Magnus is joining us to talk about his up-and-coming iron butt challenge that he's doing with a couple of pals up in Sweden. If you don't know much about the iron butt challenge, there's a number of long-distance challenges you do. The first one of which is the saddle saw, where you need to ride 1,000 miles in 24 hours. There's quite a few other challenges. Have a look on the Iron Butt website, went..Got. A couple of examples. The Europe end-to-end, riding from Tarifa up to Nordkap in 78 hours. Another one is the British Isles Insanity, where you do 4 iron butt challenges, one in each of the great British countries. That's pretty mental. So we're also going to talk to him after he's done his first iron butt to see how it went. But before we start, I want to talk directly to all UK trail riders and implore you to have a look at the DEFRA Landscapes Review consultation. We all need to respond to it and make our views felt so that we can protect trail riding in the UK. So that's the DEFRA Landscapes Review consultation. Please do that. Right, let's get on with it. I've got some questions for you. I think the idea of doing a 2-part thing's quite a nice idea. So we'll talk about you, obviously, and your biking history. I'm intrigued to know what garage night is as well. So then we'll talk about you for a bit, then talk about what the iron butt is. Why are you doing it?
That's really a good question. It is.
And then things like, what are you taking with you? Have you done any mods, extra comfortable seat, extra fuel, that type of thing? So
yeah,
just some basic stuff.
So we're actually 3 guys doing it, but one of the guys said, no, I'm not talking in English on the podcast. I'm not doing that. And the other guy said, it will be fun. Then I haven't heard from him in 2 days. So I guess he's just, no. My name is Magnus. I live in the southern parts of Sweden in Malmö. It's the 3rd biggest city in the country, actually. Pretty flat part of Sweden, no mountains, and so it's a bit of forest, but mainly like farming country.
Are you near the coast?
Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes to the sea. Basically, 10 if you take the car. So I'm close to the sea between Denmark and Sweden.
So does the TET go near to where you live?
Yeah, the TET actually starts, the bridge between Copenhagen and Malmö, it actually starts in Sweden on when the bridge enters Malmö. It's tarmac or asphalt. I don't know what you say in England.
Tarmac works for us, yeah.
I guess it's maybe an hour until you get to the fun stuff. So that's basically when we ride to go out trail riding or so. It's an hour. We have to find like the good parts.
We normally record on a Wednesday night, but you couldn't record on a Wednesday because you have every Wednesday's garage night. So I'm intrigued to find out what garage night is.
I wasn't born in Malmö. I was born in a town further north. And when I moved to Malmö, I had a bike, but I had no place to store it. Then I met my girlfriend Hannah, and in the same house where she lived, I moved into her flat. There was a guy in his basement building an old CB 750 from the 70s. So I basically just knocked on the door and said, "Hello, what are you doing?" And we became friends. And then he told me how he shared a small garage with some other friends in another part of the town. And he said, "You come and join, have a chat." And it basically, I was there almost every night. He was there, and we was talking. And then we started to become friends for real. And I met his friends, and we started we were 4 people. But the place we were in, it was in a car park garage that was rebuilt, so it was pretty dark, and it wasn't really good, to be honest. So we started to look for something else, and then we found it's in the outskirts of Malmö, like an old warehouse, which we rent at the moment. And now we are 13 guys, have it like a community garage. So everyone has their own spot, and we share we have a welding machine, a lathe, grilling stuff, and everything you basically need. And since we're a community, so all the money that goes into the community goes to like buying new tools and supplies and whatever. The thing is, sometimes when we meet every Wednesday, Wednesday is holy. It's a holy night. Every Wednesday is garage night. But sometimes we don't even do that much work on our bikes. We just talk and drink beer instead.
I was going to say, is there a beer fridge? That's what I was imagining.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is.
That sounds amazing. Why doesn't every town have one of these?
I don't know. It took quite hard work to get the place ready and up and running. And I think people are pretty used to like have something. It's just, oh, it's here, welcome. We worked pretty hard to get it going, and now there are people wanting to join, but we have like 13 spots and that's it. So there's a queue. If you want to join, you can be in the queue, but we don't take in like anyone. It has to be like a friend of a friend or somebody who we actually, since we share a lot of tools, we want it to be like good people that don't destroy or they have to have like the right vibe to be honest.
I get that. It's the same with the people you ride with. You need to be able to
Exactly.
trust them, and they need to be the right kind of people to fit in with the gang. My little riding gang that we make the films of, people would love to come and join us, but if we let everybody join us that wanted to, there'd be 30 of us heading out to Spain in a few weeks' time, and it's just not going to happen. That sounds great. I love the idea of that.
And the thing is, you actually it's pretty cheap for to have a place to store your bikes. You have the tools. We all have like our own tools as well, but like the big expensive things to buy, we share, and that's a good thing. And it's always good. Like, oh, I need help here. How to fix this? Can you help me lift this engine? It's good to have people around.
Plus the fact you've got a lot of knowledge in the room. If you don't know how to rebuild suspension, hopefully somebody else will, and you can get help and advice.
It's pretty fun because it's a pretty good mix as well. When I started the garage with my friends, I was all into this, rebuilding old bikes into scramblers and cafe racers and all that. Then I had my Africa Twin. I bought it earlier. Some of the guys, riding on gravel seems fun. Why won't maybe I'm gonna buy a gravel bike as well, or a off-road bike, a trail bike. So we are a bunch of guys who have trail bikes, and then the other guys ride like old Harley Davidson, like shoppers, shovel heads and pan heads and whatever, kind of. So it's a good mix. And there's a kind of a friendly rivalry as well. We have our like Gore-Tex outfits, and they ride in jeans and T-shirts. So it's quite fun.
I've got a similar thing with Noel. It was interesting talking to Robert from Nomad Sweden, because where we live, everybody kind of rides smaller enduro bikes because of the nature of the terrain. But he was saying in Sweden, everybody has bigger bikes because it's pretty much all gravel tracks.
It is.
Hence your XR, is it an XRV and
yeah, Africa Twin, yeah, and a XR 650R.
So the R is the water-cooled electric start.
No, only kick.
Only kickstart. I think I've ridden one in Morocco, yeah.
Yeah, there's XR 650L, which is air-cooled. I think it's the same engine that is in the NX 650.
See, if Noel was here, he'd be moaning at me because he's had one of these bikes as long as I've known him. I can never remember which one it is.
Yeah, the L is quite simpler. The R is basically more racing, to be honest. It's liquid cooled and better suspension, and not as comfortable as there's no cush drive. The saddle is horrible to ride in for longer time. But it's one of the bikes that I own that still can frighten me because there's so much power in that big single cylinder engine.
And also, both Greg and Noel have bought, the big headlight that you've got on your Honda.
Yeah, the Baja.
Noel bought a cheap Chinese one, but Greg bought a proper Trail Tech one. They look amazing.
Not easy to get hold of. If you buy a new one from the States, it's like $500 or $600. And then it's the shipping and the tax and all that. I actually found a second-hand one here in Sweden for 250 euros. So that was pretty decent. It was pretty knackered, but I repainted it. And the thing is, they actually come with xenon HID lamp, and not road legal at all. And I couldn't get my bike. The XR650R has like both AC and DC. It is a really weird electrical system. So I found a guy in America who makes a conversion. So you just put in an ordinary H4 lamp instead, with high beam and low beam, and it works perfect. But to be honest, I bought it mostly just for the looks, because it looks cool.
Yeah, no, it does. It looks very cool. Which is why Noel got a cheap Chinese one. Doesn't care how much light it puts out.
Compared to the original lamp, it's like, the original lamp is like a small candle in a glass jar. It doesn't do anything when it's dark.
I guess the reason we're having this conversation is because you've got a fairly major undertaking coming up, in as much as you're doing the Iron Butt Sweden. When we talked before, we thought it'd be good to have a chat pre the event and then have another chat once you've done it. Tell us what the Iron Butt is for those that don't know. And
I'm not an ambassador for the whole event, but when I started riding bikes long ago, I heard something about it, and my first thing that popped up in my head was that they're stupid. It's just ridiculous. Why would you even do it? But since I'm a father now, I have kids, time is not. It's hard to get time to ride. I talked to my friends Tobias, and Zacharias, his name, Zach. I talked to those guys, and they were kind of, let's do it. It would be fun. Zach he's like, running marathons and stuff, and he likes to push himself. Tobias just, why not? I'll do it. The thing is, I love riding bikes, and to be able to ride a bike for a long time would be fun. Is not the right word, but just to try what you're capable of, to see if you have it. And what really spurred me on, because last summer I was with some friends of the gang in a little bit further up in Sweden, doing a gravel tour for 4 days. They were up 5 days. They went one day ahead of me, and they took their cars and trailed the bike up on a trailer. But I thought, I'm going to ride myself. So I had 800 kilometers to go. So I started early in the morning and just rode. It was a mix of highway and smaller roads. And to be honest, something happens when you ride long on a bike. There's something happening with you. The first hour or two you're excited, and then you come in some kind of. If you just.
What is the actual challenge of the Iron Butt then?
The challenge is you have to go 1,600 kilometers in under 24 hours. That's the thing. We have read a little bit about it, and people usually do it in about 19 to 20 hours. When we decided to do it, we were all, stoked. Let's do it. It will be fun. Not every day, but sometimes it pops up in my head. Why are you doing this? It's just stupid. And I've told my other friends in the garage I'm doing it, and why? But why? And I kind of respond to them with saying, why do you run a marathon? Why do you climb Mount Everest? Why do you do these crazy things to test yourself? It's because it's possible, and afterwards it's a pretty rewarding feeling. And it would be fun to just say, I've done an Iron Butt, just to say I've done it. And since I love riding bikes, I hope it will be fun. And also, all of the guys the guys who are doing it, we love the preparation phase of it.
So you're gonna stay together on the event?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have a route to follow. You have to make your own route, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah, you have to make your own route, and it's not that simple just to draw on the map to make the route, because some parts you have to prove that you actually have passed certain points, because you do the ride and then you send in all the receipts from the tanking stops and so on, and then some guy, I guess the volunteering people, just go through your receipts to check that you actually were on the places you said you were. To make that idiot proof, you have to really prove where you have been. So making the route, you have to check on the map, okay, is there a shorter way maybe they think you have gone, or how can you prove you actually took the long way around instead? So the preparation of just making the route took almost a whole night. We were sitting in with our computers and checking the maps and stuff. It took almost a night to get it right. And then we actually added at 20 or 30 kilometers just to be sure, so it's not too short, because that will be a disaster to almost do it. Good job, but you did only 1,590, so you're not.
So I've just done some quick maths. If you were to take 24 hours to do it, you'd have to average 67 kilometers per hour.
Exactly.
Or in English, that's 42 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Which actually, it isn't fast, but you've got to do that hour after hour after hour.
Exactly.
So it is a difficult challenge to actually succeed, I would imagine.
It is. It is both the preparation and both the stamina to actually pull it off, to have your bike in perfect condition. Yeah, I know you're talking about what do you say? Perfect planning prevents poor performance.
Something like that. I can't remember.
I think when doing an iron bike, that's crucial to actually. You have to. Everywhere you read, everybody says plan the ride the plan. It's like you have to, you can't, oh, let's check this road instead, or let's do this instead. You have to like plan everything. There's loads to read on the internet about people who have done it, who people who have failed it. There was some guy saying it's good if you learn to like refuel your bike sitting on your bike, because it takes shorter time than getting off, taking your helmet off and stuff. I don't think we're going to be that hardcore.
It's like any exercise, you need to rest and relax, and it'd be good, I would imagine, to actually get off and stretch at least anyway.
To be honest, I think we read about this, like food. You're quite, maybe if you've read it for a couple of, let's get a pizza, let's go to McDonald's or whatever. But that kind of food is just sucks all your blood down your stomach, and you get tired. So we're thinking of like going hardcore in on protein bars and keep the energy levels going. Maybe like having sandwiches and stuff. And that's also a thing, because if you go into a place and eat, even if you know that you're in a rush, you know how it is. You stay and you talk, and suddenly, half an hour easily. Just to keep like the food stops short. I think we're going to bring a lot of food by ourselves, to be honest, like sandwiches and fruit and whatever.
So there's three of you going: Magnus, Tobias, and Zach. Who is most likely to drop out?
To be honest, we haven't talked about it, and I don't think anybody of us really.
Who's the biggest loser of your friends?
I don't want to call them out here.
Well, we'll find out after the end of the event anyway.
Yeah,
and hopefully you'll have all done it.
Actually, we said to ourselves that if somebody of us just feel like I'm not going to make it, we're going to quit and take the closest hotel and
all
just
for one and one for all.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
No man gets left behind.
No, I can't make it. Okay, let's get to a nice hotel with a pool and have a beer and just, it's a small vacation instead. But I think we're going to make it. I think so. Tobias works as a paramedic. He drives an ambulance. So he's pretty used to working nights and stuff. Zach works in he's kind of I think some kind of boss in a building company. So he worked like office hours. And I'm a teacher and a father to two small girls. So I'm pretty used to getting up at night as well. The thing, preparation-wise, just to have the stamina and the energy is how much do you sleep before? I'm thinking a lot about just that thing. Are we going to bed earlier for a couple of days before? Are you just going to go to sleep your regular time? Or I don't really know. I have to do some research about that.
I think the thing is, though, you'll be kind of looking forward to it. The closer you get, your brain will keep you awake anyway because you'll be excited, right?
It's the same thing. Every bike ride I do, it's the same thing. I can't sleep the night before. And I think it's pretty, if you love bikes, I think it's pretty common.
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah.
Definitely the same with me. There's three of you doing it. You're going to be on how old is your Africa Twin?
It's from 2000. It's a RD07A. So it's like the last of the version of the first Africa Twin. It's a 750 model, the wheat twin. It has been a dream bike of mine since I was a kid. I had it on the wall in my room when I was a kid. I always wanted one. Then when I started riding bikes, I actually had like a sports bike, a GSXR 600. And I went to track days and, full leather suits and all that. And then something just spurred me on. I really need to get that bike. And I bought it in 2014, I guess. So I had it for a couple of years. And if there's one bike I'm never going to sell, it's that Africa Twin. Because I read a review somewhere, an old review. Somebody said it's not best at anything, but it's good at everything. Like a Volvo, like a Swedish Volvo. It does the job. And actually, I love the look of like the old Dakar bikes. I think they look really cool. So that's also like the big round headlights and I like the look. And it's a Honda, so it just runs.
And what are the other guys riding?
Zach is riding Husqvarna Husky 701. He has installed like a rally kit, I think from Aurora, like the, rally fairing and stuff. He actually bought a seat concepts seat because the original 701 saddle or seat is absolutely terrifying to ride on. So he spent a lot of money to buy a better seat. And he said, to all your listeners who have a 701, I think that's the primary thing to change is the seat.
I've got an Airhawk seat, which I've had for about 10, 15 years now. So you put a small amount of air. It's got separate little air cushions and the air moves around. And that's incredibly good as well. If you need.
Is it worth it?
I think you can find cheaper versions now. But yeah, it's something along those lines is definitely worth it. I swear by them. I tried a sheepskin. That was just awful. And I've had an Airhawk, and every long trip I always take it with me. And it's brilliant because it feels slightly odd, but you never feel as if your butt is actually in contact with anything. You never actually feel like it's pressing down on anything. It's the same technology they use for people in hospitals that are on their backs for a long period of time to stop them from getting sores. Works really well.
Sounds maybe something to check out.
Think about, yeah.
I was actually thinking about the sheepskin thing because I've seen so many people doing it. But you say it's not a...
No, it definitely didn't work for me. It seemed to make it worse, if anything. It was awful. A lot of people swear by them, but yeah, it just didn't work for me.
Getting back to the bikes, Tobias is on a 790 KTM Adventure R. He also bought a bigger fairing rally style.
After you've done the event, Noel will be so delighted if one of the KTMs or the Huskies has broken down and the old Honda makes it to the end.
And you know what? Me too. Ride red. Yeah. Or as we say, KTM ready to race once. So, yeah.
Ready to service. What other mods are you going to be doing to make sure your bike is ready to go?
I've done some mods when I bought the bike. I bought the bigger foot pegs. What do you say? The steering. Oh, I lost the word.
Bar risers.
Yeah, bar risers, exactly. I found some really nice small extra lights from Rigged Industries. I think it's an American company. Really, really small and absolutely amazing.
Yeah, very good quality. Yeah, really brilliant. I had some, yeah.
They weren't cheap, but really, really good. Then basically that's it. I also bought a couple of years ago a rally fairing to make it look a little bit more aggressive. And it's pretty good to actually get the wind out your face and head.
What will your plan be then? Will you ride as far as the smallest petrol tank will allow and then all stop together, presumably?
It's a 701 who is the weakest link fuel-wise. So we have planned the tank stops after that. I think it can. I don't know really how the range is, but it's not that bad. But I think I can go easy. I think I have 22 liters in my Africa Twin, so I can go probably the furthest. We have planned it around the 701. And also because it's pretty good just to get off and get a stretch and then get on again. But apart from that, I haven't. Yeah, the mods I've done. Otherwise, I've changed to progressive springs in the front. I bought a new rear shock from Hyperpro. They had a kit, so I bought all of that. So I think the bike is in pretty good condition. This winter, I've just changed all the fluids and checked the valves. And one weak thing with the old Africa Twin is the fuel pump. So I actually changed it to a Faucet, I think it's called. I think it's a British mark, a solid state one. It's supposed to be bomb-proof, and I hope it is. Actually, I have had one broken before, but I changed it to a new one. So hopefully it will work. That's basically it. Yeah, I also have this, intercom, Cardo, pack talk things. So I can listen to music and pods and radio and whatever.
Do your friends have them?
Tobias has.
Makes such a big difference.
It does. When we first bought them, me and Tobias were out riding, when we talked all the time. And actually we said, okay, let's be quiet for a while. We don't have, just because we can't talk, we don't have to talk. So now we use it more when, oh, look, can we stop? I have to go to the toilet, or can we have a snack? So we don't talk that much. It's more for easy communication. And the thing just to listen to music or a pod or whatever we ride it's really good. It's
a luxury, isn't it? It's great.
I'm actually planning to do a 19-hour long playlist on Spotify and trying to, okay, in the 7th hour, I'm gonna need some boosting. Okay, let's play some hardcore rock and roll, and then take it down with maybe some Mozart or some Beethoven. I'm planning my playlist in my head as well.
Yeah, it's important preparation, right?
It is.
When is the event?
We decided to do it on a Friday because we think not a lot of people are out on the roads.
So it's not a fixed date that you have to do it. You basically choose
No.
when you do it.
You exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you can choose when you want.
Right.
So we chose the 27th of May because the weather is supposed to be pretty good at that time of year. It's almost summer here in Sweden. We choose to do it on a Friday, and it's actually like a public holiday that day, so you don't have to take a day off work, so that's good. And hopefully not a lot of people will be out on the streets on that day, because if people are going away for the weekend, it's like since it's a public holiday, people often go on like Thursday night. So hopefully the roads will be pretty empty.
Well, listen, we need to get a date back in the diary then for the following Thursday or something like that to record part 2.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I think we've probably got enough there, Magnus.
Oh, that's good.
It's great. No, it's brilliant. I love the garage night thing I love that idea so much, and I think people will react to that in a really positive way as well. You should get some photographs up on Instagram. I'd love to see
absolutely.
some.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have like what is called? Oh, I can't find the word now. Like an Instagram page for our garage as well. Yeah.
What's it called?
We call Odd Luck Garage. I don't know about the name. Luck. 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 Odd Luck Garage. I think I have some pictures on my Instagram as well. Otherwise, next time I'm there, I can take some pictures and send. Yeah. It's good. It's good fun.
No,
and I'm so happy to have it. To be honest.
Yeah.
The day I'm moving from Malmö, I'm gonna miss that thing the most.
Yeah.
To be honest, because it's nice to have your own garage, but it's always fun to be around other people.
So thanks a million to Magnus for talking us through the Iron Butt Challenge. Fancy it? If you've done or you've got any exciting adventures coming up, give us a shout. We'd love to talk to you. That's it for this week. Make sure to tune in next week for potentially what could be a very exciting episode. I'm saying out. See you then. Ta-ta a bit. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate your support. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And if you really appreciate what we do, you could consider supporting us on Patreon or buy us a coffee. Links are available on our website, which is tampodcast.com, tampodcast.com, where we also have a limited selection of branded stuff. But either way, please keep listening and spreading the word. See you next time.